Hi, welcome to Lady Prong. Today is tea time. I'm Lori and welcome to my home. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm a conservative Christian, wife, mother, grandmother, and a pastor's wife. Our family's been ministering in Mexico since 2004, and this is part of my daily routine as of right now. It amazes me how difficult it is to find time to actually vlog. I have all these ideas going on in my head, and just as I'm sitting down here, I'm thinking I'm gonna have a nice long vlog for you. My son calls and said that my grandson is homesick today, and he's asking if he can come over and hang out for a couple hours so my son can get some work done. So before he gets here, I wanna head out for a walk. Otherwise, I won't get it in. Let me just cover a couple of questions, and if you have any questions, please comment and let me know what you'd like me to cover. There's just so many things and so many directions that I could go. It's actually very overwhelming. I'm just gonna cover a couple of questions this morning. Why did I want to lose weight? If you would have seen me in the end of 2018, you would know why I wanted to lose weight. I've been an overweight child most of my life, not obese, but heavy, and weight, there was a big emphasis put on weight when I was growing up. Being heavy wasn't something that was desirable. I started my first diet when I was in the second grade. I didn't tell anybody, but when I was in the second grade, I halved my lunch. My mother gave me a sandwich in my lunch, and I threw half of it in the trash. And I started losing weight. And then the praises would come. Oh, look at how great you look. And see, my love language is words of affirmation. So I felt loved by the affirmation that I was receiving from my family. That was just the beginning. In our 30s, there was a major crisis in our family, and my husband said that he was not gonna do that to our family. And so he decided that he was gonna lose weight and get into shape. And he and we were losing weight together, and it was a lot of fun. And it seemed like a lot of fun at the time. We set goals. He asked me if there was anything that physically that I wanted to be able to do, and I wanted to learn how to ride mountain bikes. In our mid-30s, we learned to lose weight from the Discovery Channel, and that was to count calories. That was to have about 35% protein, 10% fat, and the rest could be carbs. There were no guidelines on what kind of food that we were putting into our body, and to exercise just strenuously as possible. And we ended up going to the gym sometimes twice a day for workouts. I was beating my body and making it my slave. And we lost a lot of weight. I lost nearly 50 pounds at that time. I think I lost 40 pounds at that time, and my husband dropped around 50 pounds. And we were having the time of our life. We were mountain bike riding, and it was fabulous. Well, after about 10 years of counting calories on a computer program, I really got sick and tired of it. I was burnt out. I was now going into it wasn't quite 10 years. But after doing that for many years and going into my 40s, I just got really burnt out on counting calories. Counting calories, keeping track of all the food that I was putting in my mouth. I tried to restrict my calories to 1,400 calories. I had the most difficult time doing that. I was always hungry. I was always blowing it, and then eating too much of something. And for me, I always wanted something. I love potato chips, so I would eat baked potato chips or something like that. It worked for a while. I looked okay, but I could never maintain it. It was always a struggle. And so into my 40s, I got tired of using the computer, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm totally done. I don't want to count calories anymore. I don't want to track my food. It just felt like another bondage. I'm tired of it. And my weight went up, and then I got sick, really sick. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I ended up, I had colitis and candida problems really bad. And I was desperate. And I knew when the doctor told me I had colitis that I was in trouble. That colitis is not something you want to mess with. That is your next step to colon cancer. And my grandmother had colon cancer. And I didn't want colon cancer. When the doctor told me that I had colitis really bad, I knew that I was in trouble, and I prayed and I said, Lord, if you're not going to give me an instant miracle, please show me how to heal myself. And I went onto YouTube and I found a doctor who seemed to know what he was talking about. He was a fruitarian, and he sells herbal formulas, which I still use today. And I do believe that in detoxifying our bodies. And I was a really good cheating fruitarian for 3 years. Initially, I lost weight. Initially, I felt really good, but I couldn't maintain it. It's just not a sustainable lifestyle. Some people will argue with that, but some people won't even try it. But I did. I was desperate. And after 3 years of being a cheating fruitarian, I was really overweight. I was uncomfortable. I had spent the holiday season cheating. I was doing full cream in my coffee, making my traditional baked goods, and it tasted delicious, but I ended up having serious symptoms of neuropathy. I woke up with my palm feeling like it was on fire in the middle of the night. I felt like I had a marble stuck in my throat for 24 hours. I couldn't swallow without excruciating pain, and I knew I was in trouble again. December 27th of 2018, I started eating fruitarian again. And then as I went into 2019, it got really interesting because I listened to YouTube videos for inspiration, and I came across the blue zones. Have you ever heard of the blue zones? The blue zones is a study that the National Geographic did where they took a blue pin where they circled 6 or 7 zones in the world where people live the longest, and they studied those cultures. And I'm listening to them and I'm thinking, wait a minute, they're eating more than just fruit and they're living longer, and I didn't see any fruitarians in this zones. They weren't mentioned in the zones. So that was the beginning of me bringing back legumes and cooked food back into my diet. That led into me discovering Dr. Esselstyn and Dr. Ornish, and I found a panel of the Physicians Committee and Dr. McDougall. And the first time I heard Dr. McDougall, I thought, I'm still a fruitarian in the moment. I didn't believe him. He said we needed to have a starch-based diet. So it took me a while to believe Dr. McDougall. Yeah. So I wanted to lose weight because I felt awful. I felt awful, I looked awful, I was uncomfortable, and I wasn't getting any better, and I knew something had to change. How did I find the Dr. McDougall program? I found the program coming across him in those panels and talking about the starch solution. I finally took into consideration what Dr. McDougall was saying, and lo and behold, it works like magic. I mean, we often are told if it's too good to be true, then it's too good to be true, and it ain't so. But in this case, it is so. It really is. And if you like potatoes, which interestingly enough, when I would cheat on potato chips, I was wanting starches. I was wanting potatoes, and we can have all the potatoes we want. I don't know why they tell us that starches or potatoes will make us fat. Were you told that potatoes would make you fat? I was told potatoes don't eat too many potatoes, they'll make you fat. But it's not the potatoes, it's the butter and the milk that we put in the potatoes that we think make them taste good. And that's not true either. Potatoes by themselves taste fantastic. And that concludes our tea time for today. We'll go into further detail about potatoes, my favorite food, potatoes, on another day. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'm still really new at this. I seriously, in a lot of ways, don't know what I'm doing. I'm having trouble uploading my cooking videos, and it's a process. But that's all the time I have for today. Love you and appreciate you. I hope that you'll find success in your journey to being a trim you and a healthy you. And yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that button and subscribe, and we'll hang out again soon. There aren't many Christian vloggers on YouTube, and I thought, why not me?